Welcome back to Westshore Parks and Recreation. Earlier today, the Westshore Valkyries with a dominant showing against Abbotsford RFC. Coming up next is the men's Premier Valhallians facing off against Pacific Pride.
I'm excited. You might not be able to see it, but it looks like the spectators and fans are building a tunnel for our Valhallans. Getting geared up for this kickoff. If you were listening earlier, you might have heard Max and I talk about last week's showing. Pacific Pride played a friendly against Westshore, 40 minutes over at Starlight Stadium. The result was 14-12 for Westshore. We shall see what that looks like stretched out to a full 80-minute match.
14-12 in 40 minutes was a great little rainy scrimmage on a Friday night for both these teams. Pacific Pride may be looking for some revenge here today. Westshore looking to get back in those top three on the men's premier table. Currently sitting fifth with a very competitive top five teams here in the BC Men's Premiership. But we will see how the game goes today. What do you expect to see out there, Zephyr?
I expect to see some heavy hits. I mean, the academy, the Pride is an academy. That's 4 days a week for some of the younger boys. But they are younger. So there might be a few players out there who aren't quite used to the men's physicality of playing people who've been playing for 10 plus years. And I think that will show in our carries, our contacts, the rucks, the scrum, every little piece, every little, niggle, hit.
Among some of those veterans on the Westshore Premier side, Matt Evans, who has been with the club for a long time, wearing that starting number 2 jersey. Some other standouts here, Elias Hancock, Mark Belaski, Thomas Isherwood, Reese James. Westshore just stacked with some Canadian caps. It's going to be a showdown for the ages here.
I'm excited. A few of those players have gone through the academy, with myself as included, and we shall see what it's like for old players playing against, their old teammates, and maybe some rivalries will show. But hopefully everyone keeps a cool, calm, collected head. We're here to play rugby, not a fist fight.
Maybe a little argy-bargy, something exciting for the fans here at the field and back home. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Westshore live stream. Quick shout out to some of our key sponsors here at Westshore Rugby, Shoreside Plumbing and Heating, the Tube Shack up at the Cowichan River, Harbor City Kitchens, Budget Blinds, just everyone who helps make the mission of rugby possible here in the Westshore communities.
Couldn't do it without them.
And here come Pacific Pride wearing their green and yellow jerseys, and Westshore led by the captain Kane Parrott in blue today. We are in for a show here today, I think.
Are these new jerseys, Max?
These are new jerseys thanks to some of those key sponsors who are able to make this happen for us.
Keep us dressed and fed.
Special shout out to O'Neill's Sportswear. Just some great kit for the fellas.
Teams are now taking their sides. We've got Westshore playing down into the Wanda Fuca and the Pride playing out.
It will be Westshore ball to start the game with Pacific Pride kicking off.
This, I believe, will set the precedent for the rest of the match. Seeing if Pride's looking to try to collect their own ball or if they're looking to play deep and advantageous field position.
Tane Clegg for Pacific Pride wearing the number 7 jersey back from injury, and we are off with Elias Hancock gathering that first kick. Joe Kingham set up for the first crash. Goes in. Big chop tackle from Pacific Pride there. McGuire goes to the air with a little spiral. The Pride just let it fall. Now Hodgkins. Young carries in. Tackle from Simeon John. And a penalty early for the Valhallians.
Pride's already
not
throwing their arms
releasing
up.
is the call. Pride unhappy with that call from the referee. And now the Canadian star, Thomas Isherwood, will look to set Westshore's first line out of the game.
Between that and, you know, kicking right out of their own end off one phase, I think it's going to show that the Westshore is looking for a field position. They're looking to play maybe a kicking game in this early half.
Matt Evans with the throw in. Goes to the middle. Elias Hancock to the air. Peyton Gibson gives to Belaski wearing the 12 this week. Carries, gets about 6-7 meters on that tackle. Now Holland gives outside to Nitarangu. Parrott, quick pop to DeGood. Now they go back the other way. Isherwood finds McGuire in the backfield. McGuire goes for the kick, but the pressure's on him instantly. Mark Belaski tries to just punt it through, but gets kicked off a Pride player, and it will just result in another Westshore on that far side. Not much field gained there in that phase of play, but Westshore will stay on the attack. Pride now with the ball. Just a little fumble in the ruck there. Westshore trying to keep him up. Release, says the referee.
Ruck's looking a little messy.
Just a quick pick and go there from the Pride. Clegg standing at the 1 position, goes in. Holland and Parrott on him right away. And it looks like the 9 is going to go to the air. He does. Gibson is there in the air, ends up in Oyu's hands down the far side, dancing through, runs across the field, gives a quick little pop outside. Kingham recovers with Belaski there to secure. Now DeGood outside to Isherwood. Isherwood finds Reese James. James goes to the ground, and it just dies in that little water pit. James recovers. Oh, unfortunate on the ground, just knocks it on. That was a great little play from the Valhallians.
Field position is really what they want there, and Reese managed to collect on the second kick in that standing water, and we got a scrum down, Pride's 22.
First scrum of the game, Kane Parrott, Matt Evans, and Simeon John in the front row with Joe Kingham and Caden Good in the engine room. This is going to be a match.
Got some power in the forwards here. I'm excited to see it. We've recently had a scrum club, which is just a friendly little collection of tight 5 members from clubs all throughout Victoria scrumming against each other. We shall see the results today.
And the Valhallian scrum looking very dominant, but Pride able to maintain with Young carrying. And Westshore almost gets the steal, but no, it ends up being a penalty for the Pride.
Let's just not roll in on the tackler there. Just a little bit more speed, and that play would have gone off.
And the ball stays in. McGuire gathers. Now Gibson goes across the field to James. James has Isherwood and Oyu on his outside. Goes himself, breaks through, has some space. Couple defenders in front. Gives it to Oyu on the far side. Does he have the speed to beat him? Back to Isherwood. And Isherwood dots it down. Gets held up. I don't think he realized he was even in the end zone there. And Thomas Isherwood will open the scoring on a great little play. Unfortunate for the Pride to not get that ball out. Ends up with 5 points for the Pride. Excuse me, for Westshore.
I think that kick just went a little shy of out just because of the wind. We've got a real crazy wind today, as you might have heard on the live stream, and I think that will change the kicking strategy of both teams. Maybe looking for shorter and off the pitch as opposed to long and strong kicks.
Mark Belaski on the tee, just inside the 15-meter mark on the far side. Wind is blowing straight across the field, it seems. And the ball just falls off, so the captain, Kane Parrott, will come and help hold the ball down for him. Belaski is up and just hits the post. Almost gets that one. And it will stay 5-0 to open the game. 6 minutes gone here.
Knocking it off the tee and needing an extra person to hold it down. Might have just thrown that kick.
Hodgkins, wearing the 10 for Pride, will kick it off, and it goes back to Hancock. Great take from Hancock away. And now Holland tries to give the little pop pass. Westshore recovers. Isn't able to hold on in the tackle, and Polton will recover the ball for the Pride.
Loose ball.
And Kilgore tried to just chip it through and gets clobbered by the Westshore defense. But we are going to go back for the knock-on in favor of the Pacific Pride inside Westshore's half.
We'd like to see that, though. You know, with advantage, trying something new, that's the opportunity to kick it, get it out wide. Worst comes to worst, it always just goes back to that scrum. Taking our time on the setup. Second scrum, our forward should still be full of energy. Looking for a big hit here. Nice, solid crash.
Pacific Pride with Tassie, Espagnol, and Jurjeet in the front row. McDonald and John in the engine room. This is just a great even battle for both scrums here. Now Pride on the outside. Kilgore gives to Polton. Polton will just carry with Belaski there to make the tackle. Ball spills out, and it's Westshore. The defensive pressure comes away, and the ball will now go back to Westshore.
Might have just been a bit too eager from the Pride there. They had a decent platform. They got the ball out to their outside center, and, you know, you try to make something happen, and you get that knock on.
Those real fast on that attack, a little too fast for their ball handling. Third scrum of the game. Westshore trying to break through that Pacific Pride pack.
Can hear the hit from here.
Gibson able to get to the back. Belaski with the crash line, and it spills out again. And now it goes the other way for the Pacific Pride. Just a bit of ball handling from both teams here today. That ball being a little slick from that rainfall this morning.
See how they reined it in here. A little bit of eagerness from both sides. You know, third scrum of the game. Hopefully not wearing out our forwards too much, too quickly.
Pride with a good scrum. Short side, it's Roy gets taken down. Quick ruck from the Pride. Clegg. Help gets taken down by Kingham. Quick sky ball, and Gibson gathers. And now Westshore on the back foot inside their 5 meter. Elias Hancock, a short little rumble. And penalty goes to Westshore. Not rolling
From the side.
from the side, says the Mr. Referee. And now Isherwood will try to put some meters between the try line and the ball for Westshore. And it's going to go out just outside the 22 for a line out for Westshore Valhallians.
A little bit of relief here. Allow them to reset up, take their set piece, and go.
Back to the middle. Goes over Hancock's head, but Kingham is there to gather. And Nitarangu with the quick pick.
We got our 9 and 10 in that ruck.
Pacific Pride trying to attack that ruck, but Kingham gets it out in time. And play on, says the referee. The Pacific Pride was not happy there. Now Pulaski playing 9, goes to Hancock. Hancock to DeGood, gets driven back by Young. And now Isherwood will go to the boot, puts it way high in the air. Roy just gathers the ball, and he goes back, finds some space in behind. McGuire able to get there. And now we've got a bit of a tennis, just kidding, no tennis match. McGuire to Oyu down the side. Oyu just burst through those tackles. Kingham again. And Pride gets the jackal. The supporters just not able to get there in time for Westshore, and Pride will have an opportunity here to get to the corner.
I think they'll be looking for the corner. Depending on where they land, I believe a maul is in order.
And
Nice
an
and close.
easy little kick. They will set up on the 6 meter mark out from the Westshore try line. Pride trying to punch their first try in for the game.
Westshore likely looking to stay down and just contest this line out in the maul.
To the back, Parrott sacks the maul. And I believe Westshore does not have the ball. Pride goes short. Tane Clay gets it in. Pacific Pride is on the board. Couple mistakes there from Westshore results in 5 points for the Pacific Pride with 13 minutes gone in this game.
The mistakes really weren't at that lineout, though. The sack was good, defense was decent. The problem shows with penalties in your own half. The Pride is a well-drilled team, and if they get those opportunities, they will be kicking for lineouts. They will be looking for those mauls all day long.
I believe it's Hodgkins for the Pacific Pride taking this kick, trying to add 2 points and take the lead away from Westshore here. Right from the sideline. And he gets it. Great kick there, adds 2 points, and it will be Pacific Pride 7, Westshore 5.
He is going to be deadly on that boot. We saw it with the kickoff. We saw it there with the conversion. Westshore is in danger no matter where the Pride scores. So I believe they will just be looking to lock them out.
Pacific Pride, of course, some of the best players from across the country here. And that ball just goes 10 meters. Pride able to hold on. Matt Evans is right there on top of Jones. Now Jurjeet carries. Big tackle from Aiden Holland. The 9 darts quickly. Tries to give the offload, and Kingham just gets in the way there of the pickup. And it is a no arms wrap against Joe Kingham. So Pacific Pride will look to go back to the line out on this short side.
just outside Westshore's 22. I do believe Pride is probably looking for a set piece, draw on their forwards, have a back strike. We got some forwards. We got our 8 and our 3 set up out there.
Quick little line out from the Pride. Oh, but no, there's a knock on against Pacific Pride on John. So Westshore able to get out of this situation with a scrum here on the 5-meter channel.
I do believe that scrum looks like it's inside the 22, so Westshore could be looking to kick it straight off the park.
Just trying to put some space between the ball and the try line, keep that score line where it is so they can get back in Pacific Pride's half. Great crowd out here today, Zephyr.
Love to see it, especially after this morning's rain. Can be a deterrent for the fans, but the sun is out. Hot dogs are grilling. Good day to be at Wanda Fuca.
Gibson gets the ball out the back. Belaski gives inside to Luch, and he's unable to get the pass. So now, after getting out of that sticky situation, they're right back in it.
Maybe just a bit too eager from Westshore there to, try some extra phases inside their 22. Sometimes you just need a crash. You need a hit. Make your platform and kick on out of there.
17 minutes gone, 7-5 the score line. We've been to the scrum and the line out a few times here. I'm sure both teams are going to want to get some phases rolling.
Strong hit. You can hear the chant from here.
Hodgkins with the ball. Gives to Young. Young outside to Polton. Now Jones. Pride. No, they just knocked it on. Looked like they might have broken through with a cheeky little backs play, but we're going to stay inside Westshore's 22 with a scrum going the other way now.
Westshore honestly lucky with that one there. Like you said, Max, I think they would have gotten through if it was just the handling was 100%. Westshore given a little bit of a break, hoping to just get out of their end.
Ball handling for both these Premier sides a little dodgy early in this game. We'll see if they're able to clean it up as we move forward. Gibson with the put in. Strong, stable scrum from both sides. McGuire goes to the air. And it just stays inside with Barros collecting. Barros just going himself. Tries to find some space. Isherwood with a dominant little chop tackle. The ball was not out.
I think it was just coming from an offside position with Isherwood there. I do believe the other players were legal to grab it with the ball having air underneath it. But Isherwood coming from the Pride's end just draws the penalty. This is what Pride's hoping to do, capitalize off those mistakes, capitalize off those penalties, put them back in Westshore's end, and just keep them down there. Because eventually they will score if they just keep this pressure on.
Espanol with the throw in. Pride going quick to the front. Hancock steals it, but it just bounces out of bounds. So now, instead of a stolen lineout, it's going to be a Pride lineout about 3 meters closer to the Westshore try line.
Unfortunate turnout, but you do want to try to contest, put a little bit of pressure on them, make them question their own set piece.
Now they go to the back.
Sack is good.
Sack is good. And penalty for Westshore.
Oof.
Great work from the forward pack to get away from their own try line. Isherwood now.
That sack is very important. You got to make the decision. If you're doing it, you got to do it right away. You can't falter. You can't wait. And Westshore got the penalty for it. You make the sack. You get Pride caught up in their own ball, not able to produce it. back closer to Westshore's 40-meter.
Just over the 20-minute mark, 1 quarter gone in this game. And goes over the back. Kingham tries to collect, but no.
Holland with the kick.
Holland with a cheeky little play. Looks like he's playing soccer out there.
Now that's a footballer.
Unfortunately, it is going to be a Pride scrum.
I think that's just a knock-on from Kingham trying to collect there.
Ball handling again, just putting this team under pressure.
I think what they're hoping for in those lineouts is really just trying to hit the top of the box. They have been throwing high from Evans. It does mean a strong, confident lineout when you hit those hands. Unfortunately, if it goes over, it can be quite a mess.
Scrum gets wheeled a little bit, but play it, says the referee. No, we're going to go back now. He didn't like the picture there, so we will reset that scrum.
And that wheeling is really just to show that both sides have power, but you have to be able to control it. Whether that means one prop is winning, you have to slow down to the other prop if he's not quite as dominant.
Once upon a time, wheeling a scrum would result in a penalty for the defending team, but no longer.
The ref's looking for a straight, solid push. You want to be pushing vertical in that scrum.
And it wheels again, but we'll get the ball out this time. Going to the short side is Hodgkins. Pride just rumbling with a quick pick and go. Now they go to Jurjeet. And the 9, Kilgore, will just dart himself, trying to find some space, but there's not much there. Hodgkins now. Quick little boot through, almost gathers his own ball.
But a knock
That
on.
would have been a great little play from Hodgkins, showing the skill and why these guys play for the Pacific Pride. But unfortunately for the Pride, it's going to be a Westshore scrum.
Great identification from Hodgkins there. He was looking, I think, for that long chip kick all the way over to the wing, but the opportunity wasn't there, so he decided to go himself. The little 5-meter kick over the top of the defense's head.
We've been down in Westshore's half for a good while now. Westshore trying to get back to the other side of the field. They use some of those fast wingers they have to score their first try. Let's see what they try to do here. Goes far side, Blasky now goes to the air. And they're just going to change the field position a little bit. Try and get away from their own 22 zone. Hancock has looked pretty dominant in the lineout so far. I'm sure he's going to be trying to get up here and get another steal. They go to the back. John, now Hodgkins. To Young. Young carries. Another chip through from Barros. Gibson is able to collect. Now James is going for a run by himself. Finds a little bit of space. James with Kane Parrott on his outside. Parrott's there to secure the ruck right away. Great from the loose head hooker.
Charge
Lasky
down on the kick.
tried to just chip it through. Great counter ruck from the Pride. Westshore able to maintain control. Now to Good. With pressure on him right away. Kingham looking a little shaken up after that last phase. Holland wanted to give that pop pass to Evans, but it ended up in the Pride's hand. Tassie playing 9. Goes to Van Royen. Now John again carries. Big hit from Holland on him. Mano y mano. Young gives to Roy. Mevins going straight through the ruck, but no, the referee says he doesn't like it.
Can't flood the ruck. You can't play the 9 if the ruck is formed. I do think I see what Evans saw. The ball looked like it was live, looked like you could play it, but unfortunately there was still one person in that ruck making it a ruck.
Matt Evans was unhappy from the call from the official. But we keep rolling with Pride back in Westshore's 22. This attacking pressure from the Pacific Pride just keeps coming.
We do got to hand it to Westshore for being able to hold them out for as long as they have in their own end.
Clegg calls it to himself. It is a maul. They're able to get this one together. Nitarangu looked like he was right through there. I saw a scrum cap go flying through the air. And Pride will get the penalty
for sacking that maul.
For sacking the maul. Of course, you can sack the man with the ball when it first comes down, but once that maul's formed, you got to stay on your feet.
I do anticipate a little bit of heat coming off of both teams here, just with calls not going the way some players anticipate. So I'm expecting some heated mauls, maybe a few unethical hits.
Unethical, of course, being the PG way to say that. Now we go to the back. John easily able to gather, and that is a clean sack from Kane Parrott. And a quick little rumble from the Pride. Mevins pushes him back. Great defensive pressure. Quick pickup from Tane Clegg.
Westshore looking
Hancock
to
tried to get that steal. Oh, man.
That's tough. Those kind of penalties this close to your end zone just really can't happen.
Discipline inside Westshore's 22 is just costing them this defensive stand.
Back to the line out. I mean, the Pride is well drilled, well oiled. They are a machine when it comes to set pieces, so they are happy to keep playing like this.
It goes to the front. They are able to set the maul this time.
Looking like it spills out the side.
Looked like it was Gibson who made that tackle there. Bodies flying everywhere.
And it's Westshore's ball.
Westshore ends up with the ball now. Nitarangu with the steal. Looks like McGuire setting up in the backfield for a kick to relieve some of this pressure. Westshore pack just trying to set a solid platform for him. He does go up. The ball is going to stay in bounds with Hodgkins gathering. Hodgkin goes to Roy off the pass. Roy inside to Polton, gets crunched in the tackle.
Those are the kind of hits I was looking for.
Now Barros goes short side. Back inside to Van Royen. Van Royen just rumbling through. Barros again. Ball pops out, but Kilgore is there to collect. Little bit of RG in the backfield, and we're going to have a Westshore penalty. Nitarangu upset about something.
Turning the penalty the other way. You cannot have that. The penalty was going for Westshore.
And no, it's a yellow card against Young on the Pride.
No, is it? I believe
and
no, that's a
Nitarangu.
yellow for us.
Both guys, one from each side, stepping off the field. Nitarangu still upset, talking as they're walking off. We're going to be down to 14 v 14 for 10 minutes.
Sure, some choice words were shared. Examples of, hey, buddy guy, what you doing here? Playing rugby, man. What you doing?
So both teams are going to lose a guy. In the backs for the Pride, in the forwards for Westshore. And the referee is going to tell both sides to just take a breather for a second.
And that's just, you know, tensions are high. Not many points have been scored. Back and forth, stuck in Westshore's end. Westshore finally gets something because Pride falters in their control, doing something a little extra, draws that penalty. Unfortunately, also drew the ire of number 7.
Referee having a chat with the captains now, unhappy with what's happening on the field of play here, telling him to talk to his men. Fortunately, Westshore will retain the penalty advantage that they had.
Usually with that, it means any more infringements or personality penalties, you could call them, are going to be called for cards.
Isherwood going to the sideline from the middle of the field, doesn't get too many.
I think that's good recognition, though. He looked left, but the game has had the wind blowing from that side, so he just chooses to kick it right.
Quick line out from Westshore. Isherwood now with the ball, gives a short pop to James. James bounces off, gives to Aluch. Aluch just rumbling through right into that wet patch. And Pride playing the 9 quickly. Now Gibson will go with it. Hancock just bounces one off. Great little counter tackle there from Hancock.
It's the kind of energy you need.
Gibson picks it up on a messy ruck. Now, Oyu
James
pushing guys off him. Belaski gets the ball. Looks like he's going to give, but just goes himself right into that A gap.
Pride looking.
Gibson again to Isherwood. Isherwood out the back of McGuire. McGuire with the pressure on. Gives a short little pop pass, but no, Kingham cannot hold on to it. So it's a Pride scrum in their own half, which we haven't seen since the start of the game.
It's a great opportunity that Westshore has not had since the beginning. They've got the platform here. They are down a forward, which might make it a little hard to get it out because we do not have an 8-man now.
Westshore is electing to keep the backfield full. No 8-man in that ruck.
I mean, who in the backs could scrum? Let's be real here.
And Westshore, without an 8-man, just walks the Pride pack, turns it. I don't think the Pride were ready for that one.
They did manage to get it, though, which does not bode well. If you're too eager to just try to scrum some players over and you forget about that ball, there is no point to that scrum.
What happens in that front row matchup when you see a scrum wheel like that, Zephyr?
I believe it's usually a tight head getting a little eager. They find themselves nice and strong, and they just start to go. If one of your props is stronger than the other or has an easier competition, easier matchup, it becomes quite easy to wheel.
Pride down that short side. Barrows gives a little chip through, collects his own ball, just throws it up for somebody. And it's Logan who comes away with it. Now Tassie. Tassie gives to John on a great little offload. John is just rolling. Hancock finally brings him down right on the Westshore 22. Pride is on the attack now. Hodgkins gives outside, but Isherwood collects, but we're going to go back for the Pride knock-on. Again, the ball handling. Whenever there seems to be an attacking phase, there is just something that goes wrong.
They're too eager. They had that speed, they had that breakaway, and they tried to get it out of that ruck, and they tried to play that extra pass. Nice and quick. But it just didn't quite go.
Westshore's restaurant sponsor, Emporia Langford, hosting a Halloween bash tonight. If you're in town, you don't want to miss one of the best parties in Langford. That short side of the scrum almost fell apart, but Parrott able to keep it up. McGuire goes to Isherwood. Isherwood trying to break through that tackle, just gets taken down. And looks like James wasn't quite there fast enough to support Isherwood on that tackle. Too many rolls, says the referee. Of course, in the ruck, the player with the ball gets a second movement on the ground, but after deemed illegal.
Now one. Pride is looking to press their forward advantage as they have 8 and Westshore has 7.
And Kane paired again on pulls the jumper down. Retains control. Messy ruck, but they come away with it. McDonald 2 meters out. Now Van Rooyen goes to play 9, just on a quick pick and go. They're going to go again. Everyone pressed in so close to that ruck.
Whistle's blown.
And
think that might be held up or unpresentable.
not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I think it's unpresentable. So Pride brought the ball in, and they could not provide it. They could not get it out of their own ruck. So the ball will go to Westshore.
Excellent analysis there from Zephyr Melnick.
Westshore's the last scrum, nice and stable. Let's see if they can do it again. Building that platform is so important here. Hancock back at 8.
With Jeff Luch going into the open side flanker position. The winger coming in. He looks pretty stable there. Hancock, quick pickup off the back of the scrum. Just runs through, breaks the line.
With the boot.
He gives a kick.
He can do it all, ladies and gentlemen.
Nelson Oyo is chasing, but Barros picks it up. Belaski is there trying to... Belaski gets it. Incredible work from Westshore from going from 1 meter out to now inside Pride's half, and Isherwood goes quick.
The ref's not allowing it, though.
But no, he did not like the placement.
Westshore keeping their pressure up with Elias's break and kick there. Couldn't have done it without the support play and that counter ruck. It's important that every member is on and knows the game plan.
Westshore looking turned on now. So they will go to the line out about 12 meters out from the try line. And now they are on the attack after extended pressure from the Pride inside their half.
Quick line out, collected by Duguid.
Now Belaski just crashes. Big collision there in the midfield. He stays on his feet for a couple more meters. Looks open on the short side. Kingham says no, the other way. DeGood just resets there with a quick phase. Gibson darts through. Thought he had a gap. Now through the back. Isherwood gives to Kingham. Kingham throws one off.
Brilliant stiff arm.
Now DeGood. Excuse me, McGuire. Belaski's set up in the 10 spot now. Gives the inside ball and gets just cranked, and it's a turnover for Pride. Belaski slow to get up on that one.
Looking like he might have had himself rocked in that contact.
Trying to give that inside ball. Just took the contact like a champ, but it shook him up just a little.
Unfortunate play there. Westshore was on their 3rd phase. If they had gotten 2 more, the likelihood of scoring just goes up exponentially. I don't believe Westshore is in position to be able to play that hastily with grubbers and kicks over the top. More fundamental and come away with points here.
The Westshore backs when handling is just not going either team's way today.
Westshore with a massive scrum, pushing Pride back. Pride forced to kick.
And now McGuire gathers, gives to Reese James. The 7-star for Team Canada. Just bumps one off. Stays on his feet.
3 to take him down. I see a boot flying over.
Ball
Somebody is
flies
shoeless.
through. It looks like Pacific Pride kicked the ball through. And that is not allowed, so Westshore will get the penalty here.
Slowing it down, Reese James without a cleat.
You need one of those to play.
Nah, you don't. Do it in bare feet. Get the dogs out.
And the referee's conferring here, seeing if there might have been some extras going on.
And it looks like there was.
The Pride gets marched back 10.
Westshore is
And
looking for the
Westshore goes
line out.
quick. Isherwood gives it to Good out to Hancock. Trying to barrel through to Good. Supports him.
Great support from Westshore
Great
there.
support from Westshore.
Oh,
Tries to give it to Parrott.
that will be a penalty knock on.
And Luke pulls through.
Held up.
Time called.
Lease was good there to grab it from the ruck to attempt to go. They had the penalty advantage from that knock on, so why not try something? You either get away with points or you come back to the advantage.
The referee conferring with his touch judge to see if there was an intentional knock on there. No, it's just going to be a knock on, no yellow card against Pride.
I do think you can kind of tell there was an attempt to catch it. He knocked the ball up. He wasn't just trying to kill the play, which is important. If that ball had gone straight to ground, I believe it would have been a penalty, maybe even a card.
So now we will have a Westshore put in on the Pride's 5-meter. Excellent opportunity for the Valhallians to get back on the board and in the lead.
McGuire set up here behind Belaski. Maybe an inside ball coming. Could be outside to Isherwood. Both options are on.
Belaski goes himself, and he just darts through everybody and gets the try. Mark Belaski off the scrum gets 5 points, and Westshore is on top 10-7.
Belaski, a strong ball carrier there. You could see it. He caught the ball, and he was low straight from the get-go. Those legs were pumping, and he wanted that try for himself.
That previous hit, he was a little shaken up, but he seems to be back on his feet now, giving Westshore their second try of the day, and he is going to be taking that conversion.
Wind is howling, so this kick may be difficult, but Belaski has shown that he can boot the ball.
Taylor McGuire is there to help hold the ball in these windy conditions. And there's a chase. Oh, just outside. And that is going to be halftime, calls the referee. And we will step away quickly. Halftime here at Westshore Parks and Recreation. Westshore 10, Pacific Pride 7 in a tight contest. Don't go anywhere. welcome back. Second half action on its way. Westshore with a narrow lead over the Pacific Pride at Westshore Parks and Recreation, 10-7 here. Looking to close out this game. This is about as tight as it was at Starlight Stadium last Friday in that 40-minute skirmish. Can Westshore close it out? What do they need to do here, Zephyr?
I think they need to just keep playing their game. We saw it right near the end, getting out of their own end quicker, getting down to the Pride's end and pressing that advantage, taking that extra ruck, taking that extra phase, kicking for the sideline when it's advantageous, and playing quick when they have the opportunity. What I'm not looking forward to seeing is extra offloads, unnecessary offloads where the tackle's been made and the jackler's there and you're just throwing the ball away. That's where this kind of pressure and potential can be lost. The Valhallians here are eager to play. They are set up to kick off. Pride's still in a huddle. They're getting into cheer. Probably a little talking to from their coaches. We shall see how they respond out of that halftime.
Couple substitutions for the Valhallians. Admir Sajanovic now on the field.
Lots of standout players, a real great match, but anyone standing out to you, Max, individually?
Kane Parrott, the captain, having a great game so far, just running those support lines, staying solid. Mark Belaski looking great as well. It's going to be a tight second half. I don't know who's going to win this game. Now Pride goes to the air. Gibson is there to collect. Goes to James. James gives a little boot through. Pride has guys in the backfield, and he calls the mark.
Hodgkins looking to kick. You must kick your own ball if you call the mark.
And it will just end up out of bounds, so it will be a Westshore put-in on the line-out.
Westshore going quick.
DeGood going quick on the line-out. Belaski gathers to Aluch. Now Kingham gives out to Hancock. Hancock to Isherwood, bobbles through his hands but goes backwards. James is able to recover.
Strong.
So now going the other way, DeGood out the back to Belaski. Belaski to McGuire. Sajanovic, first touch of the ball, gives it outside. Nitarangu, short little pop pass to Kingham. Able to get the support there is Westshore. Isherwood running across the field looking for friends. Doesn't find any, just goes in himself, gives it outside to Oyu. Oyu pins him back, but Hodgkins and Barros are there to cover. DeGood again, just rumbling himself, goes straight at his opposition 5.
Westshore looking like they have an advantage. There was a straight arm from the ref there.
Nitarangu off of Belaski, gets driven back by the Pacific Pride defense. Advantage for Westshore. Now Isherwood out the back, Belaski over the top, Parrott to Oyu. And it is a forward pass, nothing there. We're going to go back to the advantage for Westshore. Offside by Pacific Pride.
Hard to get onside when Westshore's running that quick down into your own end zone. You make the tackle, you're eager to get back on, and you're eager to go, but the result is just an inch offside is a mile offside.
First scrum of the second half for Westshore inside Pacific Pride's 22. Belaski, McGuire, and Isherwood lined up on that left side. Now Nelson Oyu jogging over. One man to beat on the right. Hancock looked like he was looking at him. Something tricky might be coming here from Westshore. And the scrum just collapses, so we'll just reset there.
There has been a substitution in the front row. So that fresh prop.
Omar Abu Al-Naj, the new recruit out of Ontario, here to play for Westshore in the winter season.
He's got some gumption, ready to show himself off, but he is also slotting in new with two people who have scrummed before together. So cohesion might not be there yet.
Belaski lining up his run, it looked like. Hancock goes down the able to hold on to the ball. Great little set piece play. Does not go West.
It is closer to the Pride's end zone, so they are maybe feeling a little bit of pressure to allow that platform to get out.
Both teams looking tired after a physical battle so far here at Westshore Parks and Recreation.
Is decided which team has more gas, which team's ready to go, who's able to fight that fatigue.
Hodgkins goes to the air, but the ball stays in. McGuire lets it bounce once and now gives it out to James. James looks for the pass, but gets taken down by Kilgore right away. Now Stojanovic rumbles through, pushing guys off him. DeGood is there to support. Kingham powers through that double tackle, makes the gain line. Nitarangu gives to Belaski. Belaski gets shot by Tane. Westshore is on the back foot a little bit. Hancock tries to give a little pop pack back inside. Parrott recovers. Westshore holds on to the ball. Almost got stolen away. Stojanovic gives a little pop to Isherwood, but it just falls short. And we'll go back to the scrum for the Pacific Pride.
You could hear the energy in that hit alone. Clegg made that hit, locked up Belaski, and the Pride's defense just erupted. They were yelling, they were screaming, they were eager to push him back and get off that line.
Georgie for the Pride. The tight head prop heads off, and Porter Gook, the former Westshore Div 1 hooker, heads on. Great to see him getting a shot with the Pacific Pride here. Westshore men's program had 8 individual men's players head over to the Pride this year. Awesome for their development and the sport of rugby as a whole in BC. Now Hodgkins goes to the air. James is right at him. No worries gathering that one. And now it's back to Hodgkins. Hodgkins again goes to the air. Bit of kick tennis going on. Stays in, bounces the wrong way. Oyu gathers. Now we're out to McGuire, shifting sides of the field. And Aluch is carrying, gives inside to Stojanovic. Great work to set up that platform from Westshore on the counterattack. Belaski with the ball now, just rumbles. Didn't even look for the pass. Hancock is there to secure the ruck. Isherwood unfortunately can't hold on, but it goes backwards. So James recovers, trying to stay up until his support gets there. He does. Back to McGuire, goes to the air. It's up. Kilgore, no problem getting that one. He just darts himself, finds a gap. He's away. Westshore defense caught sleeping, and Kilgore will run right through and touch it down under the post.
Kilgore is one fast player. You give him space, he will take it. Great kicking battle there, back and forth. Unfortunately, that high ball in the center field makes it a little bit harder to defend when the ball is collected well. It allows Pride to attack both left and right, and in this case, Kilgore went right.
So Pride back on top now, 12-10 with the kick right in front for Hodgkins.
Hodgkins and the ref discussing. Hodgkins looking to use his full 90 seconds here, get his team a little bit of a breather.
No problem on the conversion, adding to the Pride's tally, 14-10 now.
It is still a one-try game. 5 points will put Westshore back on top. 5 points will allow the Pride a longer lead.
Back and forth action here on a beautiful sunny Saturday as we head into November. Hancock up there, and Kingham comes away with it. Now Parrott with Hancock inside, gives it up back to McGuire. Isherwood to Belaski. Belaski finds Oyu. Oyu just goes in. No space in front of him. No problem, says Westshore. McGuire, big outside pass. Kingham gathers. Pride almost looked like they were going for the intercept there, but Westshore able to hang on.
Pride looks like they're off their feet here, so any potential for a turnover has been lost.
Now Isherwood. Short ball to Sujanovic. He finds space, gives outside to Isherwood again. Isherwood getting chased down. No problem. He's in.
And under the posts.
Incredible work from Westshore to answer that try from Pride as Isherwood and Sujanovic connect on the far side to put them back on top 15-14.
Westshore has been unlucky with their converts so far, but underneath the post gives them a strong opportunity to get another 2 points and lengthen that lead to 3.
Mark Belaski back in front. He's been unlucky today with a couple kicks just missing the mark. The first one hitting the post, the second one just outside. I don't see him having any issue with this right in front. Goes quick, fakes the setup, and he will add the 2 points.
I think that also shows just a difference in mentality from Belaski to Hodgkins. Hodgkins taking the full 90 seconds. Belaski looking to go quick to give his team an opportunity to get back down in the Pride's end.
Time off, says the referee. We're not too sure what for.
I think the ball was away, but there's a new ball in. Just a little confusion there from the ball boys and girls.
And we are back on, says the official. Ball is up, goes right to the back to McGuire. He lets it bounce right through, and he will tap it down. So we're going to go back to the halfway mark for a scrum, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Usually that touchback in your own end will result in a dropout, but because it was off the kickoff and nobody touched the ball before it ended up in the end zone, we're going back to half. Few more substitutions. Looks like Saeed is in for John in the Pride's pack. Their engine room there with the locks, 4 and 5.
Referee didn't like what he was looking at for that scrum, so he's just going to reset it here. Gives both teams a chance for a breather quick. Gibson with the put in now. Hancock will take himself, has room outside. Gibson finds a hole. Gibson finds another hole. He's got one to beat. Gets taken down by Roy. Oyu quickly picks it off the back of the scrum, or the ruck, excuse me. And Kingham will just gather and reset. No, he gives the pop pass to Isherwood. Isherwood to Abu Al-Naj. Now Belaski the other way.
He is
Immediately
isolated.
gets taken down by Saeed. No one around him. Good. Oh, just second guesses himself on that pass. And it goes to Pride, but then goes back to Westshore. So what looked like...
Got hands in the ruck.
What looked like a turnover ends up with Westshore getting the ball back, and then just silly discipline from the Pride is now a penalty for Westshore, and they're going to elect to take the scrum.
Their last scrum looking quite dominant, nice and stable. Wasn't going forward, wasn't going backwards, and that is always a win when you're playing in the pack.
Sajanovic talking to Isherwood out there, trying to rile up his troops.
We've got back split left and right, 3 on either side, so the opportunity to attack both directions is here.
Both teams off the yellow card starting this second half, so we're back to 15 on 15.
It's looking like the front row is collapsing immediately. The arm is going towards Westshore.
So we will just reset the scrum here.
Again, a theme of today seems to be a little bit of power without constraint. Doesn't matter if you're the strongest scrummer in the world. If you cannot control your own weight and power, it's just not going your way.
Now the scrums are set, and Hancock again picks off the back, gives a short little pop to Belaski. Belaski finds Isherwood. Isherwood gives it to Oyu. Oyu's in the corner. Westshore scores again, back-to-back unanswered tries.
That is what we're looking for. You couldn't have asked it better if you drew it up yourself.
That was a perfect little set-piece play from the Valhallians to put them up 22-14 and a little bit of breathing room on the scoreboard.
I just think the decisions there were on compared to maybe the first half where people were second-guessing themselves on throwing that pass or carrying it in. Everybody just decided they had to do what they did, and they did it well. Belaski setting up 2 meters from the edge.
1 for 3 today is Belaski. Wants to get to 50% here on his 4th kick of the day.
The wind is favorable from this side. Kilgore with the chase down.
And the ball curls in, but not quite enough. So it will stay 22-14 for Westshore.
Belaski and Kilgore having a little bit of back and forth banter there. Ex-teammates, both having come through the Pride. I believe Belaski was showing the scoreboard in response to Kilgore's banter.
Pointing at the scoreboard, a little bit of mental warfare going on here. A lot of these guys, buddies off the field, but on the field, of course, no friends. And
unfortunate on the collect. People are
just
shoving.
Fumbles it, so it's going to be a Pride scrum, and there was a bit of argy-bargy. Thomas Isherwood unhappy with what he saw from the Pride.
Isherwood does tend to get away with it. He knows when to shove. He knows when to not, and that is important in a player. Having a little bit of banter is important, but you don't want to be undisciplined. Pride going backwards.
Westshore, great scrum, but Pride comes away with the ball. Kilgore just darts himself again, gives the ball outside. Oh, Van Rooyen unable to collect. And it'll be a knock on, so we're going to go with the scrum for Westshore.
Honestly, quite lucky from the Pride there. Their scrum was getting pushed back, marched behind them. If that ball hadn't shot out, it probably would have been a penalty in Westshore's favor. Setting up a scrum 6-7 meters away from Westshore's try line. They're just hoping for another stable platform. McGuire's in the back behind Belaski, maybe looking to crash, then kick. Maybe just looking to kick.
Westshore pushing again on that scrum, trying to keep the ball in, gets the advantage, gets
Perfect.
the penalty off the scrum.
That's what they're looking for. You keep it in, you push back, you show you've got the power, and you are rewarded for controlling your strength.
The Westshore pack finally flexing its muscle a little bit against these young bucks on the Pacific Pride, and they get excellent field advantage from that scrum penalty.
Lineouts in the middle of the field like this, they really could go either way. Pride will be looking to contest. They'll be looking to get somebody up in the air. And they steal it.
They do. Kilgore comes away with it. Now Cooper throws it out. And Polton breaks through.
It's a
Gets
knock
through
on
a
in the
couple,
offload.
but he just knocks it on in the offload. Again, ball handling today, just not as sharp as it needs to be from either of these sides.
They're just too eager. I think especially after stealing that line out, you know, that's the opportunity to counterattack. And you had the counterattack, you got through, you made the break, just set up that ruck. Hoping to see another attempt at keeping it in. Maybe Westshore understanding they are dominant in the scrum. Hopefully they will keep to building off of that.
Another solid push. Hancock takes it out quickly, gives it to Oyu. Oyu stepping around. Barros, he gets away, finds a gap in the inside, throws a silly little pop pass, and Pride comes away with it.
Probably thought Clegg was a teammate there just out of the corner of his eye. It did look like...
Roy
Ooh!
collects and goes for the chip and gives it right to
The captain's in
Sajanovic. Kane
space.
Parrott, the prop, gives it to Belaski. Belaski on the inside scores.
That is wonderful to see.
Silly little mistake from the Pride fullback ends up with the captain giving the offload to Mark Belaski for Westshore's 5th try of the game.
I think that just shows a little bit of experience from Westshore's side, being able to capitalize in that counterattack. That is where most tries are scored, in that change of play, and Westshore is showing that they know how to use it.
27-14 now the score, with Belaski right in front with the kick.
A 13-point lead means Pride needs 2 converted tries to be able to catch back up.
Westshore all of a sudden looking deadly on the field today. Another substitution in the Valhallians pack. Bob McKay coming on for Matt Evans, an absolute veteran of Westshore. Matt Evans has been great today.
I do believe Bobby McKay is the oldest player on the field right now, just showing that age is not a factor when it comes to having a little bit of a jostle, a little bit of a hit out.
The Silver Fox, Bob McKay, looking excellent out there in the 16 jersey. He's ready to rumble.
The Wolf of Westshore has something to prove.
Now the ball in the air goes short.
Pride was looking like they were offside on that kick. Just their winger was 1.5 meters, maybe a half meter even, just too eager.
Referee says nice try, but no. So we will go to a Westshore scrum at halfway, as Westshore looks to just burn the clock. 62 minutes gone in this game, 3/4 away. Westshore just needs to maintain this lead for 18 minutes to add another W to their column.
It is only cheating if you're caught. Getting offside like that, if the AT doesn't see you, it can go your way. Just that extra meter of space, but not today. Solid. Pride getting pushed back. Westshore keeping it in. Looking for another penalty here.
Will they get it? No. Gibson just gives it to McGuire. McGuire out to Luch, just gets it off the foot so it doesn't get called for a forward pass. Now Hancock. Hancock looks for the offload, but no, goes himself. Itarangu finds the ball, gives it to James. James pops it to Kingham, who throws it away. But Jeff Luch maintains control for the Valhallians.
And just marching that Pride defense back.
Westshore looking set up. Oh, Kingham tries that short line and it just pops off his shoulder, so Pride will come away with it now. Sajanovic driving the scrum half backwards.
Westshore already responded. They're back in the backfield.
Penalty against Westshore.
We have a player down for the Pride. Kilgore looks like he's back to his feet. Just a little bit of a breather, a little bit of a diva.
I'm sure there's lots of bruises in both these sides with some big hitting going on here today.
Everybody's throwing hits. Everybody.
Pride will go for the line out. Gets about 20 on the kick.
Westshore probably looking to contest. They've got Hancock in there. He is tall. Duguid is boosting him. They are probably eager to steal this ball.
It is a very short line out from the Pride.
3 members only with an overthrow.
And it goes over the top. Okay, Pride has the ball here. Short ball to Espanol. Big hit there from Sajanovic.
And he turns it over.
Steals the ball, gets it
and
away.
The offload.
Herrick gives it to McGuire now. Belaski outside to Isherwood. Isherwood looking for a hole, doesn't find it, gets ripped down.
Pride is off their feet. The attempt to steal is no longer legal.
Now Parrott gives to Abu El-Naj. Kingham, another quick run in, just steps back inside, finds a gap. To Good is through there. Now they're at the Pride 22. Gibson goes the other way to James. James just rumbles through. Pride guy down behind the ruck there.
The ref is allowing them to play despite an injured player.
Messy ruck going on backwards, says the ref. McGuire now tries to get the pop through. No good. Now Isherwood. Immediately pressured on top of him by the Pride. Westshore just looking to reset here. James comes out of nowhere. Gets through. Almost breaks away. Huge counter ruck from the Pride, but Westshore does not maintain control.
Pride looking to get out of their own end, relieve some of this pressure they've been feeling for the last 5 minutes.
McGuire just bobbles that ball, but play on, says the referee. Hancock goes in now. Westshore attacking on their back foot a little bit here. Nitarangu gets through.
Is isolated,
has support.
But support is there.
Belaski goes himself, isolated again.
Westshore is quick to respond to these single pick and goes, which is keeping them alive.
DeGood gives out the back to McGuire and right through Sajanovic's hands, and it just bounces out of bounds. Unfortunate. Reese James down on a knee, looking hurt, but the game continues on the far end. Pride with the ball.
Fumbled in the ruck. Play on.
No knock on, says the referee. Pride finds some space in behind. Nelson Oyu is there to gather. Looking to go for a run himself. Gets tripped up. Isherwood is there to support.
And physics just wins that game. Despite Isherwood being a smaller player, he is lower, he is eager, he's strong, and he will win that counter ruck.
Abu El-Naj was the one man there, and he just bobbles the ball a little bit, and we'll end up with a Pride scrum inside Westshore's half.
First knock on from the player, though, not so bad considering the other handling issues we have seen today.
Matt Weir coming into the game for Caden DeGood. Excellent performance from the tall man there. He's going to go take a breather.
I do believe we also have a wing substitution we missed.
Alex Mentaply is in the game as well for Jeff Aluch. Mentaply absolutely lightning fast on his feet. Let's see if he gets to use that ability here today.
All he needs is a platform. Just give him the space to run and he'll take it.
Westshore pushing the Pride scrum back and gets the penalty.
Like to see that.
And they go quick. No, they don't. That's all right. It was a bit of a bobble from Hancock, so they'll just take the quick little reset here. And Isherwood will look to pin it in a corner. Now Peyton Gibson heading off for Westshore.
Long and on.
It stays in. Mentiply with that speed right away gets on him and puts the pressure on, which will result in the line out that Westshore wanted originally. Great work from Mentiply to pressure that Pride fullback.
Interesting to see without Duguid what this lineout looks like now.
Nitarangu in the back is able to get it. Excuse me, Peyton Gibson did not leave the field. He is still here. Now Mentiply has a platform. Almost gets away, but gets jersey tugged by Roy. Gibson's there to feed to Sajanovic.
Strong carries from everybody involved.
Isherwood gives to Parrott on the crash line.
The captain
now
is
Nitarangu
still
goes
ticking.
himself looking for the offload, doesn't find it. Just sets the platform. Isherwood comes out of nowhere, goes himself, and stays short side. Gibson tries to find somebody, goes off Parrott's head, and then a kick, and then out of bounds. So
I
we will
believe they got
see.
options here. It might be a knock on, it might be a line out. Hard to tell. I think the Pride might have the decision if they want to scrum or take the line out.
Looks like it's going to be a Pride line out.
Porter Gook throwing, a Westshore alumni playing for the
Another
Pride.
very short line out. And the ball just goes up awkwardly.
I think a eager pump there from Porter just throws the Pride's game off a little bit. And we're back to the line out. Let's see if they can repeat it. We got a 3-man line out, which you don't see all that often. Last time the Pride did this, it was an overthrow play.
And overthrow again. Quick pop out to Espanol.
Westshore is wise to their ways. They've seen it once. They know how to react.
Justin Tassi on the carry. And Hodgkins just goes to the air. It is going to hit the dirt outside the playing field. So a Westshore lineout will be the result.
The captain throwing. Now that Evans is off, traditionally the hooker takes the throw, but whoever is skilled enough to do it can slot in.
Goes to the back again. Nitarangu easily gets that ball. They set the maul. First maul we've seen from Westshore here today. Gets driven back a little bit by the Pride.
The ball is at the back. It is in the captain's hands. They're just looking to build some pressure. They're
Kane
marching it
Parrott,
forward.
now he steers the ship in the right direction. Gets
Breaking
through. He gets taken down, but support is there from his teammates. Now Westshore sets up. Bob McKay goes in. Abu El Naj is able to catch that one. Just goes for a meter or two. And Nitarangu tries his signature play, but Pride is looped into it, and they take him down right away. Now Kingham on the run. Doesn't get anywhere.
Westshore just looking for a few hit-ups. Just more phases they get, the more likeliness that Pride's defense will break here.
Over the top. Mentiply has some space. Looks to run. Gets taken down. Westshore able to maintain that ruck. Belaski out to Weir. Hancock now with it. Tries to give the offload. Stays in Westshore's favor. Weir picks it up. Belaski finds some space. Gives it to Parrott. Parrott gets taken down now. Bit of argy-bargy from Belaski and Kilgore in the corner. Awkward pass off the ruck through the legs of Hancock. Goes to Isherwood. Isherwood's running the wrong way, though. Now he gives A chip through and gets taken down by the Pride, and we're going to have a penalty against Pride.
A tripping penalty.
And there is a march backwards for the Pride.
A penalty like that, usually resulting from charging the kicker or hitting him after the kick, gives Westshore a decision if they want the penalty where the contact was or where the ball landed. Isherwood and Hancock having some great chemistry. They have played together, not just on this team, but on the Canada Sevens circuit. We saw that with just that quick little through the legs pass to Isherwood before his kick.
That was some excellent skill there from Elias Hancock. Those 7 guys really know how to sling the ball around. Now another powerful scrum from Westshore. Quick pull out. McGuire through to Hancock. Hancock to James. Finds some space. James will just...
Oh,
no. Oh, just slipped out of his hand at the last second.
He got a little bit too greedy. The pass was there, the extra little tip. Decided to go himself, and he couldn't quite secure it.
He's going to be hearing about that one in the clubhouse afterwards.
Traditionally, we do a man of the match, forwards and backs. Some teams like to do a mistake of the match. I think James is in the running for that one right there.
Sajanovic on the big run. Breaks through
Sheds
one, sheds two.
Taken down.
Finds the offload back to
4.
James. James steps inside.
Eager to rectify his mistake.
Now Abu Al-Naj gives to Nidarangu. Nidarangu gets to Sajanovic, and the ball is just going everywhere out there, and Pride ends up with it inside their 5-meter, but the referee is going to blow his whistle, as I believe there were a couple knock-ons after the fact, so we will end up with a Pride scrum.
I think that also just shows how panicked Pride might be, because if a knock-on results in your ball, you get to play the advantage, but the ref blowing the whistle quick just shows that maybe he doesn't have the confidence in Pride being able to retain that ball.
And back from injury is Nathan Gronwald, tearing his bicep early last season. Hasn't been on the pitch in over a year. Great to see him back and playing for Westshore, as well as Charles Taimani, a previous Pride player, back with the Valhallians, comes in, and Hancock heads off. He must be happy with his play out there. Hodgkins goes to the air, and it goes out on the full, so we will have a Westshore lineout. Okay. Brian Nidarangu, the international from Kenya, as well for Westshore, is headed off the field with a dominant performance here today. So it looks like both teams have exhausted their benches. And Westshore will come away with it. Almost gets stolen by the Pride. Belaski out the back to McGuire. McGuire looks like a gap. Gives it to Isherwood. Isherwood finds some space. One to beat. Stays on it. Oh, and he loses the ball forward.
Impressive work from individuals
Just
there.
Couldn't stay on his feet.
It's hard to. You're at full sprint and somebody taps your ankle, you trip yourself up.
29-14, the scoreline here for Westshore with only 3 minutes left in this exciting Westshore versus Pacific Pride match here at Westshore Parks and Recreation.
Pride looking unable to get their bonus point of 4 tries since they have not been in Westshore's end in almost 15 minutes here.
That early pressure from the Pride where we saw Westshore on the back foot for nearly 25 minutes. It really looks like this field has tilted the other way. Hey, Zephyr?
Absolutely. You weather the storm, you put on a defensive showing, and you just wear players out, and you get rewarded for it.
Barros gives outside to Kilgore. Kilgore steps out of bounds.
I think he might have been dragged out of bounds there, Max. Don't know if he elected to do that.
James trying to go quick, but no, he doesn't. He'll just set it down for the captain, Kane Parrott, for the throw-in on the line-out.
The quick option was there, but it was handled by a few players. Once the ball is out, if it's touched, it cannot go quick.
Full line out from Westshore here. Goes to Weir. Just gets it to Gibson. Now McGuire. Long pass to Isherwood. Isherwood looks like he does find a gap. Just Kilgore to beat, but there's space in front of him. He'll dot it down as he dives in for a try to seal this game away for the Westshore Valhallians.
Always a shower. Always a shower.
34-14 now the score with that great set piece play from the Valhallians, and Isherwood will get his name on the score sheet today.
The match is not over, so there is always a chance for Pride to respond quickly to this. They will be eager. They will be looking to keep the ball alive and avoid the set pieces and those stoppages. Westshore really just needs to collect that ball, keep it until time is blown, and then find an edge. Lock this game out.
Pulaski, I'm sure, to take the full time on this kick with just under a minute remaining on the clock. Doesn't look like Pride is going to be able to come back from this one. And Westshore will likely move to 4 wins and 1 loss on the season so far.
Pulaski chatting with the ref here. Definitely taking that full 90 like you suggested, Max.
And off the post again. Pulaski has been unlucky with the kicks here.
That is some crazy accuracy to hit the posts, not once, but twice in a single match. Pride responding, nice and quick, going short, hoping to collect, taken by James, still on his feet. Yeah, Westshore slowing it down.
And that is 80 minutes gone here. Westshore looking to get one more phase in.
With the lead they have, they could feel confident. They could go for another try. I feel like they might just be grinding it out, hoping for that whistle, and finding a field edge to kick to.
Parrott goes on the short side, gets driven back by Clegg. And Sujanovic will carry now with Taimani on his hip.
Yeah, looking for
and
the kick.
Isherwood will just boot it out the end zone. And that will be full time here today. Westshore comes away with the win. 34-14, the final score at Westshore Parks and Recreation. Incredible game of rugby, Zephyr.
Yeah, incredible 2 games of rugby. We saw some high-scoring games. We saw some big hit games. It was just a grand day for Westshore. Come away 2-0.
Thanks so much to everybody for joining us here on the live stream, YouTube and Facebook. If you got no plans in the Langford area, be sure to join us at Emporia to celebrate 2 huge wins for the home sides here. Thanks so much. Happy
Drinks
Halloween.
Buy 2, get 2 free.